Hello, everybody. Sean Henderson Pierre, the Beer and TV Ramble and Gambling and Mambling looks at Busch Signature Copper Lager, American Amber style red lager, amber red lager style, similar to the Yuengling traditional lager. 5.7 ABV. Beer was introduced in 2014. Excuse me. Pardon me. Um, Spear was a lot of raves about this beer. Beer gets an okay score on Beer Advocate. There was a lot of raves when this beer came out at the time. Within the last year and a half since its introduction, the beer has slowly been starting to slowly go away in certain markets. Across the country. I know here this was sort of a rare find. I found this at a service station. I was out and about, and bam, there it was. So I said, hey, let me do a review of this. I bought a six pack of this at one time, um, and I thought it was all right. So I said, let me do it again. I know Ronald J. Terrio just did a review of it. Beer the Whisperer, Tom, the Beer Whisperer, did a review of this. So 5.7%. Of course, the other Busch popular beers that we all know, Busch Bavarian, which came out in 1955, and then you got Busch Light, came out in 1989. Um, Two of those beers there are probably two of the more best-selling, well-known beers sold in America. They usually make the top 20 lists of beers sold by terms of sales. Um, they're more economy brands or cheap beers as they like to call them. Bush Ice, of course, which is very certain places you can get it. I mean, I got it here for a while, but now that's sort of become a bit sporadic. Um, the Bush Ice, and then you have, of course, the non-alcoholic version. Now you got this here, the Copper Lager, which again, a lot of wasn't much promotion. Maybe there was, not many, but you know, now it's sort of become started not to sort of go away for whatever the reason. It has a sort of a very strong malt character to it, like you're drinking a high gravity beer, a malt liquor, but it's not. Yeah, the malts are pretty strong. Pretty. It has a nice color, nice little lacing on this. I had this in the refrigerator for about a day or so. Said I would do a review of this. Has a nice little texture to it, like some sweetness, a little caramel, a little nuttiness to it. It's pretty good, really full bodied. It's a nice crisp finish. You know, it's not bad. This is my second time um, having this beer here, and I was kind of, um, the first time I thought it was all right. And again, um, didn't really think much of it. Again, it was like one of those things. Okay, I got a six pack of it. I guess I was doing a review with them with the guys on this beer, but or I may have bought up maybe a couple of bottles just to have. I don't think I did a review of it, but it was quite quite pleasant and very enjoyable as it is right now. Nice little chilly day. This is kind of perfect, 5.7 ABV. That's You know, very good. Nice texture, and it's really, uh, it's good. I mean, it's just a shame that the promotion has not been really been there for this beer, and that Anheuser Busch would, um, put out there. I mean, this is can really be sort of a good alternative. And for the price, I think their six pack was going for like 7.89. I thought that was a good deal. Um, in the style. But if you look at Yingling, Yingling's also maybe a little cheaper. Theirs about 5.80, not 88, I believe, for their sixer of their traditional lager, which is in the same style. So, you know, I don't know. Go figure on that. Um, but this is really good. And again, I paid $1.79 for this can plus tax, and came out to about like two something. Um, I hate to say this. I think this beer is starting to become. I think it's slowly becomes going to become one of those budget things that similar to Miller Fortune, which is also in that same style. I guess maybe it is, or Budweiser Black Crown, where a lot of particularly Black Crown when it came out during the Super Bowl and Miller Fortune is sort of that beer that you have, in the club scene and um, the velvet smoking jacket guy, it's starting to will become sort of that beer that people look at, say, natural ice now, or Bud Ice House is going to slowly become one of those budget, budget, but yeah, budget, budget beers. I was going to try to come up with the word, say budgetary, but I don't think that word exists. Sorry. It's going to start to become one of them sort of beers that you can just grab a can, 16 or 24-ounce can, which is what they sell them in. 25-ounce can I got here, and of course, the 12-ounce bottles. It's going to become one of those type of beers that you just quick and grab, go and head on home. I think that's where those beers are starting to head. I've already seen it here in my market, the Black Crown, which is I think the bottles of that, not the cans. Only the bottles are going to remain slowly go down. They're like $2.99. They'll probably go down to maybe $1.99. It's going to become one of them budget things that you just grab and go. Um, so much for promotion, you know. This is enjoyable. I'm liking this. And pairings with this beef, some poultry, stroganoff. This is a good beer. And like I said, okay score at on Beer Advocate. Brewed with grains from America's heartland and toasted malts. Like I said, it just has that very hoppy, toasty. Like you know, uh, chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Yeah. So and nuttiness to this beer. So I'm gonna give this an okay score. I mean, again, it's not a go-to thing for me. When I was at the store, I also bought me a can of Bud Ice too. So I like Bud Ice. Um, I think it's going to be the way. Maybe Mickey's Ice also in that same budget, sort of beers that we're going to see. $1.79 is just, that's kind of heading down that going down that road. I'm going to give this thing like an 8.5. I think it's all right, not fantastic. You know, it's reasonable if you're looking for that style, that American Amber red lager style, and it's for inexpensive price. I think this would be it. Again, if you're lucky to get this in your market, then try it out. You know, I'm sure they probably put it in the budget area, moving it towards the budget area beers like the Natural Lights and the Miller High Lights and the Milwaukee's Best. They have it in the size in your supermarket or local grocery store or service station, convenience store. Um, so, like I said, there's only one place I got it, and it used to be quite on the shelves at Walmart a lot, and even at some of the other grocery stores in our city. But again, maybe a few places here and there because it just hasn't done well. And I said, if it is, try it. You'll like it. So anyhow, I ain't gonna go on and on about this. 8.5 for me on this beer. I think it's okay, not great, but that's just my view. What is your view? Tell us. Leave your comments on the bottom. Join us up here, Beer TV Ronald, telling you always to keep watching and cheers. Stay warm.